Welcome to another progress report for the Foundation. So this week I've done a little bit of focusing on the interception logic and trying to get the last piece that wasn't really nailed down yet working, and that's the threatening logic. It turned out there's a lot of complicated pieces with that, and a lot of it depends on the AI and what the AI thinks of you as the player, whether they're intimidated by you or not. So wasn't really able to get it all finished, and there was another aspect I also got a little stuck on. I'll talk about that in a second, but let me show you where we're at right now. Alright, so here we've got a transport going to do whatever it is, and while I'm here, notice I've changed the way that they're rendered. And if you can see, it's sort of a see-through effect. I was going for kind of a holographic effect. I got some of it working. As you can see, there's kind of this transparency and it stacks on each other depending on the angle that you go at. Obviously this is not terribly great the way it is, although it does have a sort of a brightness to it, and it does have the see-through part. And eventually I will probably give it a tiny bit of a texture to give it a bit more detail. But this was the direction I was thinking of going for all the different icons that go around the Earth. So let me know what you think on that, because if you don't like that, then I will drop it and go with some other kind of visual effect. But I think it fits it really well. Also, I've been using this colored version of the world for a while, but I want to have another version of the world, and you've seen it, kind of the dark colored world that I had before, in order to give kind of a high contrast version of the world. So there's feedback that people just really kind of don't like the dark looking world, and I don't really blame them. I'm not hugely in love with it either. That's why I eventually made the oceans the dark blue that they are. And when I got thinking about that, along with some other feedback I received, I thought, well, why not just make it so you can toggle the world into a completely holographic looking world? Sort of like the world in XCOM Enemy Unknown, if you've ever seen that. And so you can see it in the satellite view if you wish, like I have right now. Or you can change it so that it shows in a high contrast, techie, holographic look, so that you can clearly see all the different elements that are around. So let me know what you think of that thought, and I might do some more work on it if that's positive. But back to the threatening logic that I was talking about. If I... Alright, and I'm back. Many extremely frustrating hours of debugging later, it seems that for some reason the shaders that I was trying to use to do these things, there's some sort of error in the geometry portion that makes it so they're unclickable in a regular build but not in an editor build, which is completely ridiculous. And I thought it had something to do with my Unity upgrade that I had done this week, but it turned out it had nothing to do with the Unity upgrade this week, and it was just the shader. And wow, that took a lot of time. Not gonna lie. Okay, enough of that. Alright, so yeah, this week I have upgraded the Unity version. And as I was saying before, I worked on the logic for the threatening for interceptions. So let's pull that up here and take a look. One thing I want to point out though too that I also worked on this week is that now when you click on things, it deselects the other thing that you were clicking on, which is kind of nice. Some people were saying that you got to mess with things that you clicked on, you didn't want to have to unclick them one by one. Well, now it unclicks them for you, which is pretty awesome. So if I select my threaten option, you can see here that the plane takes off and goes flying, and once it gets into range, it may be a little bit difficult to see, but you can see that the plane has landed, and this is going to begin circling it. This is one possible reaction to the threatening, is that the plane makes a landing in an attempt to wait you out. another possible reaction, but it needs to kind of be weighed against whether the AI is intimidated by you, is that the plane can divert and come to your nearest landing facility where you get the cargo that it contains. Now, of course, if you're going to threaten and intimidate other people's flights, they're going to not care for you very much. Now, the interesting thing is here too is that then if I run out of fuel and so I say, well, I need my interceptor back, you can see that this plane just took off and it's going to continue going to its original destination because now it's not being targeted by my airplane. So that's the interception logic, as well as the, as you see, the single click functionality. If you think there should be some situation where you can select more than one thing, please let me know. I'd be interested to hear your feedback on that. The other thing I've been doing is a lot of design and some coding setup for the combat portion. I'm probably going to start with just a flat setup map and moving around basic shapes just to get the idea across and demonstrating you how I'm hoping to make it work, and getting your feedback from there, and eventually moving on to actually using the map that you create in the base builder. But before I get to that point, there has to be saving and loading logic in place. So that's the roadmap of where I'm moving forward to. I'm going to keep you updated as I go along, of course. So let me know what you thought of the video. And I apologize for all the technical delays, and I'll catch you next week.